Hey y'all, this is Jey.
And I'm Meka.
This is our channel. So this is actually part 2 to part 1 of the review of Black Mirror season 7. Part 1 was episodes 1 through 3. This is going to be episodes 4 through 6. And before we get into it, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and and hit that notification bell also. So, episode 4 is Plaything. This actually was an interesting episode. It kind of went off of it. Well, one, it had Will Poulter in it, and I believe this character was a continuation of his character from the Bandersnatch, Black Mirror movie, because it wasn't a show; it's like a movie or a little short or whatever, the interactive one that they did. But the point to this is character Cameron, works for a video game company. Ends up going and seeing Will's character Colin. He has a new game called Thropples. Essentially, the thing I thought was cool about it, because it was like a version of The Sims, but just with like little characters. It was like the Lemmings meets The Sims, I guess you could say. If you know what those two games are, fine. But yeah, so it's, you pretty much get to the point, just like in The Sims, you're taking care of these characters. They're evolving, and in the game they evolve also, and they start building a language and things of that nature and whatnot. And he becomes obsessed with growing these thropples, essentially, to the point to where and also he's doing I think he's doing ecstasy the whole time, doing ecstasy, and his roommate gets, he leaves, his roommate gets on the game, he starts killing the thropples, and then he comes and he kills the roommate. Great. And the thing about that is the episode starts with him getting arrested and whatnot, so he's in jail. I thought the lead up to just kind of show this it was pretty much showing like addiction, the addictive nature of video games with that. And, but also the reset they have, because at the end of the episode, he uses the thropples to kill everybody in England. Essentially, is what he does through the phone, which was pretty dope. Like as far as the ending that we've gotten in the first 3 episodes, that to this point was the best ending to me. If you guys notice, I'm talking about it. She didn't watch it, so
I didn't get a chance.
She didn't get a chance to watch it. So that's why I'm taking the lead on this one. But yeah, I thought Thropples was good. Actually, I'd give Thropples I'd give it a B.
Really?
I'll give it a B.
You seem like you liked it more than that.
No, I'll give it a B.
What you told me.
I grade on a tough curve.
I see.
So yeah, so I give it a B. So yeah. All right, so let's get into the next one.
One I did watch.
All right, so now we have this one, Eulogy, which stars Paul Giamatti. I was very amped to see. Like, honestly, when I seen that Paul was going to be in this season of Black Mirror, I was amped to see Issa Rae, Awkwafina, all that, whatever the hell. I wanted to see Paul Giamatti's episode. So why don't you go ahead and sum this one up, because I took the last one.
You want to sum this one up? So you're better with the names than me, but no, you're gonna have to do this one.
All right, cool. So Eulogy, Paul Giamatti, essentially the character ex of his is deceased, and he is contacted to see if he wants to speak at do the eulogy at a funeral or something of that nature. He can't remember certain things. So the cool thing about this episode is they have a software, as every goddamn thing in Black Mirror does, where you can actually go into certain memories via photos or via audio.
That was cool.
Yeah, like literally they showed them like walking
at the same time.
Yeah,
you said you wouldn't. I think you said you would not do that.
Hell no, I guess not. I don't like looking at pictures now anyway. Damn sure don't want to go into them.
Right.
But like it was really cool how they did it. Like they did it where they walk in. Cool. If you could like the perspective of the photo, but if it was on the other end, it was like kind of like digitized and stuff. It was really cool. But the whole point is trying to jog his memory, and he's going into different photos from different perspectives and things like that. The whole point was him and the lady had a relationship. It didn't necessarily work. She ended up having a kid. There was a bunch of reasons as to why it didn't. And the lady had a daughter. So essentially, what ended up happening was the daughter was trying to jog his memory,
right,
for whatever reason.
Part of why he couldn't remember anything too is because all the pictures he had of her, he had either like scratched out her face, or poked a pin through her face, or whatever. Like whatever. We're just sitting here like, what happened? Because why is he so angry that he literally went through all these pictures just to forget what this girl looked like? You know. And so,
and that's what with this episode to me was a letdown. They had like this. Honestly, this had the chance to be the best episode of the season.
It did.
This whole premise of why this didn't work. Why is all of her, every picture, you can't see her face, all of these things. Even the biggest thing to me was like every picture was him and her. But who's taking the picture? So the whole time I'm thinking, this is finna
has to do something with somebody taking the picture.
Yeah.
Remember we thought that?
And it's like this. The ending was just a big disappointment. Paul was great in his acting as usual, but this episode was a disappointment. It wasn't this. The ending was a disappointment to me.
Yeah.
A big disappointment. Episode wise, it was good. Episode wise, I give it a B. With that ending, C-. Like that sucks.
Yeah, the ending was pretty bad.
Yeah, the ending was such a letdown because it was like literally I thought there was.
It felt like they wrote it and then they didn't know what to do, so they just threw something together and was just like, we'll do this, because it seemed like there were certain lines that were said throughout the episode that indicated that there was more to this story.
Yeah.
Like the daughter who was the person that was like the digital person that was in his head had asked him certain questions like, so who took the picture? So we're like, yeah, who took the picture? Like, right? Like, and it turns out it wasn't nothing, and
just some cat at the pier, pretty much.
Yeah, it was just her line of questioning would make you think that it was something more to the story, but no, it just ended up being that he got upset with her because he asked her to marry him. She said she didn't say no. She just got up from the table and ran off, and he said he never seen her again. And then via the little digital person, they saw in one of the pictures that there was a note on the floor that he missed a long time ago. He was able to somehow find this note. He reads it, and that's when she left the restaurant, she wrote this note saying, letting him know, like, I didn't know what to say because I was pregnant. She got pregnant after they got in a fight, right? Like she had a one night stand with somebody.
Yeah,
that's what she.
Okay.
These aren't real people. These aren't real people. So we're just gonna say that's what happened, and he didn't know any of that. So he finds that out, and I think that's the part that irritated you too, because it was just kind of like
this whole episode irritated me.
Not the whole episode.
No, the ending made the whole episode irritate me because it was just a dropped opportunity.
Yeah, it was. It truly was. But yeah, I'll give it a little more higher than a C. I'll go like B minus.
Okay, so B minus. C. Now, very interesting. On the listing of the episodes, so like I said, they have 6 episodes. The last episode, Eulogy, is episode 5. The next episode, USS Callister, is episode 7. Because it's an extension of the previous USS Callister episode, I'm guessing. But it's listed as episode 7. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But this was a good.
It was entertaining.
It was entertaining with it being, a follow up to the previous one and everything. So, it had Jesse. I think his name is Jesse Plemons. I want to say Plemons, whatever. He played Robert Daly from the original one. He played the kind of Captain Kirk-esque character on the original SS Callister. You got Jimmy Simpson, who plays the character James, or Mr. Walton. If you know him, you would know him from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He played one of the O'Doyle brothers. And then you have Kristen Melody. I think her name is Melody. She's been in stuff. Whatever. So this is a continuation of that previous episode, and I thought it was good. This to me honestly was the best episode.
Yeah,
it was the best one.
I think it had the best timing, and it had like a few different elements. It had some serious, but it also had like some comical type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that was
it was
Mr.
entertaining.
Walton. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
action. You know, it had a little bit of
action. You know, they're in a spaceship flying like usual, and they're trying to. Last time they got trapped into the software and whatnot, this was them trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You find out that, you know, the original guy, Bob or Robert, was stuck in his consciousness in the computer, building these planets, and it was just a whole convoluted thing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Too much for me to really sit and try to break down. I'll tell you, it is a really good episode. That's what I will say. You know, the ending was actually one of the more satisfying endings. Mm-hmm. The twist was one to where it wasn't like too crazy. Like she had a choice at the end where either she saves her crew or she saves herself. She opts to save her crew. All this stuff happens. She ends up saving all of them. They all live together because now her crew is stuck in her head. You know?
Do you think there'll be another one of them trying to?
I don't know. You know what? Let me answer that after we give the grade.
Okay.
So what's your grade for that episode?
I give that one probably like a B+.
Okay. I'll probably give it a B+ too. And I'll probably give it a B+ also. And here's the thing. The reason why when she just asked me that, I didn't answer it because I don't know if I'm going to watch the next season of this if they don't step it up. Truthfully, Black Mirror has gone downhill. Now, I will say I'm not going to be too critical because was I a little disappointed with this season? Yes. Mainly with the endings to some of them. But overall, looking at it, the shows weren't that bad. Like, the build-up to, like, Eulogy was really good. Common People, like, on the majority, on the broad, like, on the basis, they were really actually pretty good. I think there was, like, letdowns, because the big thing about Black Mirror before was, like, the twist or just the engagement was there, and I felt those were a little bit light, and they just kind of fell short at the end, but that's happened in previous seasons.
I was saying, do you think this season was better than last season?
Yeah, and also this season was better than last season. I
think it was, because I completely lost interest in Black Mirror. He's the reason why I watched it this season. So
I might be being a little hyperbolic in me saying that I won't watch it again, honestly. I probably will. Because when I really think about it, it was better than last year. I did not like last year's and whatnot. So, you know, we'll see. But, you know, hey, that was Black Mirror. Overall, I'll give it a passing grade because overall, the episodes kept me engaged. I was just disappointed by the end of them, except for Easter eggs. That episode was trash.
Yeah, they could have kept that.
Yeah, they could have kept that episode. Everything else, cool. Easter eggs episode.
Oh, that hurts me to say that.
And it does. Because, like I said, her, Aquafina, you know, just the cast in general. Like I thought it was gonna be way better, but that was a big disappointment to me. So yeah. But that's our review of Black Mirror season 7. We will see you in 4 to 6 years when it come out with season 8. Until then,
drop your comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow us on all our social medias. As you can see, they're up top. And we will see you later.